February 1970, the group Rare Earth told us to get ready because here we come. So get ready because PPD starts in just a moment. We got some great guests coming up for you, and we just can't wait to get started. So get ready because here we come. Welcome to another installment of Ppd-Tv. Once again, I'm Captain Sekou Kennebrew.
I'm Altavice Love Craighead, Inspector with Community Relations Division.
And you thought I was going to say the Temptations, but I did not.
What did you say?
I said Rare Earth because their version of...
Who is that?
They were a groundbreaking, pioneering Motown act, and their version of Get Ready was a bigger hit than the Temptations.
I bet you know
Look
the
it up.
words.
Yes, I do. So anyway, so Rare Earth. We have a lot of good stuff this time. We will be joined by some great guests, some old friends, some new friends, and we're going to talk about a lot of good things, community relations events, some holiday events coming up. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas on the horizon, and we got a couple extra surprises, I think, that everyone's going to be happy to see. But to start, we're going to be joined by Captain Sgt Thomas, our old friend, our good friend, my main man, Wesley J. is in the house. We go way back.
Absolutely,
Captain Thomas
we do.
Captain Thomas.
Absolutely, we do.
And it's a bit of a family reunion because Captain Thomas is now the commanding officer of PAL.
Right.
But Captain Thomas was the captain of...
Yes. You were all in Northwest Division together?
No, well, yes, we were. He was Lieutenant 35th, but he was the captain of the 16th District.
I was there first.
Yes.
She was
He
there
actually, I
first.
believe he was your
She was
successor.
there.
He was, yes.
That's right. Captain Thomas has been a lot of places. I've known you for years. A good friend of mine. We did come from Northwest together.
We
kind
did.
of all birthed out of Northwest Division. You are too, kind of by proxy from Northwest. Ain't your people from
Because
Germantown?
I'm from Germantown.
That's right.
My husband was a captain
In the 39th. That's right.
But
That's
I
right.
spent most of my time in the Northeast.
That's right. That's right. You did.
But you did a good job,
Yes, he
though,
did.
in the 16th. I appreciate that.
Hey, I like to put my best foot forward. You know, it was a hard act, following you, but I continued your legacy, and the 16th continues to run great, even in the hands of a new captain. So
Thank you so much.
thank you.
And you are currently the commanding officer of the Police Athletic League.
Yep, good
How
old
long have you
PAL.
been doing that?
I've been at PAL for about a year now.
Okay, all right. Where is your, now there's, how many PAL centers are there?
So there are 20 PAL centers throughout the city of Philadelphia in various neighborhoods. Our headquarters is in Port Richmond. That is where we devise our plans to reach out to the community and to make sure that we have the resources available to support our children.
Yep. Now, these PAL centers that are throughout the city, the PAL stands for, of course, Police Athletic League, right? How much interaction does the average police officer have with the children that are served by PAL? In other words, I guess we can start by this. In the typical PAL center, how many police officers are assigned?
So in the typical PAL center, there is one police officer per center, but there are some centers where there are 2 police officers assigned. So you figure with the a police officer that's permanently assigned to a PAL center, there are actually thousands of hours that officers and children get to interact with each other in these PAL centers on a yearly basis.
Okay.
So what kind of stuff do they do there? I know athletics, but I don't think it stops there.
No, it doesn't stop at athletics. So we're just finishing up our flag football season. We had a wonderful season. The children had an opportunity to play 8 games. They inter-center play. Our championship is going to be coming up. We're trying to lock down the University of Penn field to do that. But in addition to that, we have a lot of educational programs. So we have Math 24 coming up. That's a program that we have with the Philadelphia 76ers, by which we take children from different centers. We put them in a program that's been devised by the 76ers, and they kind of put together player stats, and they put it in a way where it teaches mathematics to the kids. And there's a competition, and it's actually a regional competition and national competition. So prayerfully, we do well.
The kids come there after school?
Yes.
That's every day?
Yep. Well, it's not every day. Every center has a different schedule, but it is after school, out of school time programming that we provide for our children after school to give them a safe place to go.
And speaking of that, the hours for PAL operations, there's a strategy behind when PAL centers are in operation, both during the school year and in the summer. Can you talk about what the methodology is behind your hours and how that
Absolutely.
works?
So during the school year, the officers work 1 to 9. They're in the PAL centers from 3 to 9. The purpose of that is to allow our children to have a place to go after school. You know, a lot of things happen in our communities after school, you know, crime, disorder, things of that nature. So us being available to our children, it gives them an opportunity to have something to do after school, something constructive, something they can put their time in, and something that gives us an opportunity as police to really interact with our children.
And you mentioned something I wanted to get into. You have maintained some and forged some other relationships with some of our big franchises, our sports franchises here in Philadelphia. You mentioned the Sixers. I've seen you with the football, so I know you got the Eagles. Tell us how some of the, tell us how some of the big sports franchises has really helped with our mission and what a great, valuable partnership.
Gladly. So the Police Athletic League, as you know, has been around since, I believe, 1947. And as a result of that, we have had an opportunity to develop a lot of lasting relationships with members of the sports community. So, you know, we have, you pick a team and we have a board member on that team that supports PAL. So the Phillies, for instance, they sponsor our Forward PAL Center that is out in South Philadelphia. The Eagles just gave us $50,000 for Haddington for their social justice initiative. So the Sixers, I mean, we have PAL Night at the Sixers coming up in February, which we have an opportunity to take kids. We go on the court, we play a game with the media, and we just have a good time, you know. But the support that we get is awesome. You know, we have established a relationship with the Flyers, and we're looking at them assisting around our Paley PAL Center.
Okay.
But that's ongoing. But other than that, you know, they are highly supportive. And
That's
I'm
what I'm
glad
talking
to
about.
work with
I want you to stick around. Wesley J., my man. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Sgt Dawn Thomas from the 39th District. But stick around, and we'll be back right after this.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
This video produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hooked to the double feature and you're on my mind. Return of the creature that crawled up from the subway line. You're always keeping me waiting, keeping me waiting for you.
No, what is this about? Oh, now.
We are back with Ppd-Tv. We'll explain the joke a little bit later, but we are back, and Wesley J., my
Yeah,
main
I
man,
need to know.
yes,
Wesley
is still
J.
with us. That's can I say what it is?
You can,
His name is Jerome Wesley
Absolutely.
Thomas. But
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So we, you know, that's his nickname. Let's just call
I
it.
thought he, you know, pal, he was
Yeah.
good at athletics, basketball, something, and they
got a
gave him
little
a
something,
name.
something,
right.
little jump
It
shot.
does have a little ring
It does
to
have swag to it, you know what I mean? But yeah, we are back. Captain Thomas is still with us, and we're also joined now by Sergeant Dawn Thomas. Dawn Thomas is now in the 39th District. You've been in the 39th District how long?
For about 4.5 years now.
It's been a
A little over 4 years.
I feel like it was just yesterday.
I know.
Before that, where were you?
I was in the 19th for 12 years prior to my promotion.
Okay.
That's where I met her.
Exactly.
That's right. And well, Sergeant Thomas, we brought you out here because I do want to talk about some of the community engagement initiatives that you're doing in the 39th District. I know there's a few that I've been made aware of, and I just want you to talk a little bit about that, and then we got to talk about some other things. So talk about some of the things that you've been doing. I know you're doing some things at or around 15th and Tioga, but there's still a lot of work to be done in that area.
Absolutely.
But there's some other things that you're doing as well.
Well, the 15th and Tioga thing, that was just us getting out there and interacting with the community and seeing a need that needed to be met. Talked to my husband, we got it going, and it turned out to be wonderful. Okay. Some other things that we're looking into doing is doing a few things in the nursing homes, doing reading with the kids in the neighborhood schools in the 39th District. We have a couple of holiday parties coming up where we're going to reach out to the daycare centers that were in the area that was affected by the police shooting, and a couple of other daycare centers and schools. So we're doing a couple things.
Yep. And
for
we
the
still have a
holidays.
lot of work to do
Absolutely.
to continue building that bond in that
Absolutely.
area. And of course, we brought you out to talk to you about your time in the 39th District, but as someone at our last break, handed me a note and informed me of something I didn't know. You two aren't strangers to each other, are you?
I don't know this one.
We kind of got married like 5 years ago.
Yeah, one of the producers slipped that to me. You are married to each other. Mr. and Mrs. Giroux and Dawn Thomas.
Absolutely.
Ladies first, want to start with Sergeant Thomas. Sure. How is that? A couple of things. You're a high-achieving woman in a male-dominated culture. You're married to a police officer. I know that's some challenges. There's rewards, but I know there's some challenges as well. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. Well, Jerome and I met in the police academy. We actually sat next to each other. So that's where our friendship blossomed.
And how many years ago was that?
Oh, almost 17.
Yeah, about 17 years.
Almost 17 years ago. Like I said, we were friends before the white shirts, before any rank. So that established everything. I don't look at it as being married to somebody in the police department, but it's because our friendship started kind of before all of this. So when we're home, home is home and work is work. We try to separate the two. And because we have 6 kids that keep us busy outside of work, there's not there's not a whole lot of time to focus on anything else when we're we have
What range?
14, 13, 2, 11, 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
So they're all still in the nest. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
leads me to this: the scheduling. You guys aren't on the same schedule.
No.
You never were. Daycare. I mean, it's
Right.
the whole thing.
Because Dawn, you rotate,
I
right?
rotate.
From day to night.
Yes.
And you're steady days?
Steady days.
But I'm sure you have
But
a lot
you-
of events and community
Yes.
stuff at nights and on the weekends.
Yes.
So how does that impact your life?
Well, it's been very challenging. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and say that everything is easy, but we make it work. I mean, we have 2 of our older children are pretty responsible, so they help us out a lot, when it comes to the younger kids. But I think for us, in order to really be successful at what we both do, is that you have to have your downtime. We make sure that we invest time in each other in addition to the job, in addition to our children, and I think that's critical. That's so important, and it can't be missed, because if you don't do that, you're going to find your marriage in a place where it probably shouldn't be at.
So that means scheduled date nights.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Not all the
And you
time
know what?
scheduled either.
Sometimes
Whoa,
it's
hey,
just spur of the moment. Sometimes it's spur of the moment. We joke that our date nights used to be getting dressed up and makeup and
Right,
hair.
right.
Now a date night can be throwing on some sweatpants and running around the corner just to decompress and get away from the kids. And that's how it is most times now.
No,
Absolutely.
we can talk about this stuff because I don't know if you guys know, but the first airing of this show actually goes head to head with the Tonight Show. It actually airs at 11:30, so we're actually good with the time this airs. But it does. So, I was going to mention though, you wouldn't know anything about what it's like to be married to a police officer, would you?
Would you?
Well, I'll say this. I have no kids. So that's a plus. But I've been married to a police officer for 21 years now.
And who would that police officer be?
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That would be Captain Michael Craighead.
Our other big brother, Big Mike.
His last assignment was he had aviation, canine, marine, and mounted. And
He looks a lot like Charles Ramsey. Wow.
Yeah,
That's Charles Ramsey in the middle. That's not my husband. But he actually just started preparing for retirement. He's officially retired in February.
Yes.
And so now he's doing what we call running time. He has so much vacation time. He's on vacation while I'm getting up in the morning.
So y'all are still in the mix, and now they're on the other side.
We're on the other
Yes.
side
Still
of
in
it.
the mix.
Yeah.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
I can imagine.
He calling you for some advice.
we did what you did. Date nights, and the only thing is we don't have children, so
Yeah,
that it was a little easier for us.
Oh,
But there
a
have been
lot
times
easier.
when I was going to work and he was coming home.
Yep.
You know,
Like 2 trains in the
And
night.
that's how it is for us most times.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is probably why we have 2 babies.
We need to go to 12:30 for the late show with y'all. But this is great. I'm so glad you guys were able to come out and join us.
Thank you.
I want to bring you back. I definitely want to bring you back because
Thank
we didn't
you.
have a, Wesley J hogged up all the time, so we didn't get a chance.
Thank you.
I just feel like you owe me a shot at the basketball.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
No, but you're both doing great things.
Thank
you. All the best. I want you guys to come back and keep us definitely informed of all the things that are going down
Thank
in
you.
PAL and all those things that you got coming up. I wanted to get a little bit more about your Christmas things in your district, but we will definitely get that. As we get
Absolutely.
closer to the date. So we will be right back. We got some important information, and we'll be back to talk about some of the holiday events.
Yes, coming up, we have Operation Thanksgiving, where we've done 50 years of giving food to families. So check this out.
Good.
Operation Thanksgiving is an event where we get together as a police department and we try to distribute Thanksgiving baskets to families in need throughout the city. Those families are selected by community relations officers, community groups, religious groups.
Philadelphia Police Department has been doing this for 50 years.
It's a sense of continuity, a sense of achievement, and just to let the people in the community know that there are people here in the department that care about the struggles that they have throughout the year.
That the police department is thinking of you in the holiday seasons and making sure that you have just a little something to let you know that you're not forgotten.
We're looking at a stuffing mix, of course a 12 to 16 pound turkey, which is frozen, don't drop it. Green beans, cranberry sauce, and potatoes for either potato salad or some kind of potato dish. Everything is packaged up and delivered on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Any idea how many baskets you have given to people over the years, or how many families you've helped over the years?
That will be hard to assess, but if you want to multiply a round figure of 400 by 50 years, and you probably have a good idea.
Happy Thanksgiving. Same to you. Okay. Hi.
We are back with Ppd-Tv. We want to thank our guests, Captain Thomas, Sgt Thomas, and we've got some folks with us now who don't need any introduction because they've been with us before. We got Officer Roz Talley from the Training Bureau from the Police Academy.
Co-hosted with me last month
Yes,
when
she
you
did.
couldn't be here.
I was on assignment.
Yeah.
Yes, she did a fantastic job.
She did.
Yes, she did, and so she's no stranger to us. And also our good friend who's now gotten through the wranglings of his contract dispute. It's Sergeant Eric Grip, who is joining us on set again.
Thank you. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes, that's it. So we got to talk about some things, Inspector. The turkey drive, some Thanksgiving things, Christmas things.
Yeah, so we do Operation Thanksgiving. You just saw the video, but that's just not where we stop. We have a long history with Widener School, and Roz here is the backbone of that program. And so the guy sitting next to her, Sergeant Grip, aka Widener Santa.
Yeah.
Yes, my favorite.
Emphasis on wide.
But Roz can share with us how we spend a lot of time at the Widener School trying to lift the spirits and be with the children during the holidays.
And you know what, we do just that, which is the one thing I love about our event is that, and my hair fell out, I'm sorry. We have such a great time pulling together all of the police officers from all over the entire city, and it makes it so awesome because of the fact that the police officers are assigned a wish list for each kid, and each list is actually it's actually tailor-made by the individual. So what happened was prior was that people would come and donate, but they would donate things like balls to kids with handicaps or disabilities, I should say. And a lot of the kids at Widener School, they use, you know, some of them may not have use of their hands or anything like that, but at the same time, what happens is that all of the gifts that they would get would be balls, and that would be more offensive to a kid that doesn't have an opportunity, they can't play with a ball.
Right.
So what I decided to do, because I was their home and school president, was to kind of adopt each child, but we knew that the babies were already taken care of, which is the school goes from K through 12. But the middle school and the upper school kids are always kind of forgotten about. So what I was able to do was put together a list and get all of the police officers assigned to each child and let the child pick their own gifts. This way we know that they're going to get use out of it and they're going to be happy about their gifts. And then we throw them like a big party. And these photos that we're showing now, I get an opportunity, I'm telling you, it's an opportunity to jump around, act crazy. They pull so much life out of you. Just watching so much, you know, some of their faces and seeing them so happy, it makes you feel good about what you're doing.
And I don't think we said, but Widener is a special needs school?
It's a school for kids with all physical handicaps. So all of them have physical disabilities. Some use walkers, some use wheelchairs, some use some of the braces or some things like that, but they all have adaptive equipment.
So that's why the balls would be offensive.
Yeah,
right?
like for some of them, actually, some of the kids are actually, my daughter was diplegic, so her upper body she could use, but there are some that are quadriplegic, which that means the whole entire body is affected. So if you can't play with a ball and you give them a ball for Christmas, it's offensive. Then you have some kids thinking like, okay, eventually there's Deputy Commissioner Wilson, who volunteers every year with us. He always takes a couple kids, his whole entire office does it. And then we have our Sergeant Michelle Long, our smallest, teeniest sergeant, and she volunteers as our elf every year. And then also we have our great sergeant sitting here, Sergeant Rip, who is one of the best Santas. He's the smallest Santa, but the best Santa ever. And he's so dedicated. Listen, listen to this. He's so dedicated that he had the flu one year.
Yes. And he still came.
And he still came, and his face was so rosy, you didn't even need to like fix his hair, his face. Like you didn't have to put his white hair around his face or the rosy cheeks. He had them already. It was automatic. I am so sick of my hair.
Roz is touching her hair.
I was gonna say, usually it's rosacea, but that one year it was actually from the flu.
So have you been doing Santa for them for a long time?
I believe this is my 5th year now.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah, about 5th year,
yeah, Roz asked me to do it. I don't remember if their professional Santa had dropped out, but whatever the case was, I came into the role, and after the first year I did it, I was hooked. You know, it sounds cliche, but seeing the look on these kids' faces, it's just, my heart grew 2 sizes that day, you know, as they say. And, you know, I borrowed a Santa outfit the first time, and then I went out and bought one, which included a big fake belly.
Yes.
And this year, due to the success of the movie Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, I've looked into method acting. Yes. And I've gained 40 pounds since my last appearance on Ppd-Tv.
So you're really getting into your
I am
role.
getting into it. These kids deserve it. You know, they're going to sit down, and when they feel Santa's belly, it's going to be real.
A real belly.
It is real. But all joking aside, I did gain 40 pounds.
Yes.
But you know, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a wonderful thing that Roz does, and the officers in the department are just so eager to be involved in this. Going out and shopping for these kids, and you know, fulfilling their wish list. It's not every day you get to do something like that, and it's just a wonderful thing. And you know, we all thank you for doing it, and it's just.
I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys, though. I always tell people, like, for this event, I love it because I can dream all day. But when you dream and are able to fulfill a dream and an opportunity for people to come forward, when I see cops running the way that they do and want to be a part of it, as soon as I put it out there, as soon as that email goes out across the city, everybody responds, and it's so awesome to see how eager, like you said, that they are to want to be involved, and that is motivation enough. And then that day when we come in with the gifts and they're waiting for us to get together, we're doing our big. What else do we do? We give them pizza. We have the DJ there.
The dance party.
Yeah, and this year we're going to challenge them because there's some type of challenge that they have out that we're going to try to get involved a little bit. So I challenged the teachers and I challenged the kids, and I say, you guys better learn it because we're going to tear you apart. So,
Oh,
so hopefully
dance
some of the police are,
battle.
we're going to battle them this year. So I'm excited about that.
Well, the holidays, of course, are a time for joy, celebration, happiness, but there's also some things that go on year-round, but specifically during the holiday season that Sergeant Grip's going to talk about that aren't exactly festive and joyous, and I'm talking about parcel thefts, the packages, you know, that we order for Christmas, and they get left at your doorstep, and what happens, Sergeant? That's right.
Well, you know, Xfinity actually did a poll last year of folks that use their home security services, and 30% of their customers stated that they have had a package stolen. Anybody here had a package stolen?
Not yet, thank
Move
God.
on.
Yeah, moving on from that, I saw some very exciting footage this year from Captain Kinnebrew's front porch when one of his packages were stolen. But this just goes to show you, obviously we saw this on camera.
Yeah.
So he had a camera out there. A lot of us have Ring is a popular company now for video doorbells. And, you know, this is a huge industry for individuals now to, I mean, listen, we're doing so much of our shopping online. And everybody knows as we come up on the holiday season, it's going to be a steady stream of packages going to folks' homes. So we have to think about some things that we can do to try to slow this down a little bit. And one of the things that we can do is, listen, we can follow our shipments pretty much everywhere they're going. So if you're shipping something through UPS or FedEx or any one of those companies, you can actually pick your delivery time. So try to schedule it for a day that you're going to be home, or maybe make an agreement with a neighbor. Make it so the item has to be signed for. All right. Something else that you can do is if you're going through Amazon, there's actually a product called Amazon Key, where you have a special lock put on your home, and when Amazon comes to make your delivery, they can put in a special code, have it put in your house. The bottom line is there's things that we can do to slow this down. We don't want to see it happen to anybody. Captain, your Christmas gift, I ordered it early. It was already stolen. So I'm sorry. Better luck next year.
All right. Yes, actually, and I'll never get that whey protein back, by the way.
Never, never. And it's obvious.
Yes.
As we can see. Where do you think I got those 40 pounds from?
Well, thanks for hanging out with us again, guys. We're always happy to have you. And this has been a great show.
Great show.
Yep.
So, you know, there's just not these things going on. There's a lot of Thanksgiving operation events going on in the city, and for Christmas, there's a lot of events for that as well. So you can find out about all of our events at phillypolice.com. Click on, what's the page? Click on districts and units. There you go. And if you don't know what district you live in, you can put in your address and it'll tell you.
Yep, and I feel like time is flying. What do we say, next week, next Tuesday, we're going to be doing the actual
Operation Thanksgiving.
Yes, come
you
on
will
down.
be there. We'll be packaging all of our
And
Thanksgiving
we'll be back
baskets.
here in 2 weeks. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Ppd-Tv. Happy birthday, Mom.